Hey everybody, it's Ace. I just wanted to make a quick update about the remaining part of my weekend. My best friend Heather goes to Progressive Spiritualist Church here in Indy, and I have been really interested in kind of fine-tuning my spiritual attunement and becoming more interested in all things metaphysical lately, because I've been kind of off balance for about the past year. But I've been looking to find different ways to connect to others that are, like-minded and things of that nature, which is why I was really happy to plug Jandy last week, because she is definitely one of those persons that I would like to be more acquainted with. But I went there, and it was really awesome. There was a sermon held by Annie Truesdell, and she is, she's awesome. But she she did this sermon about space, and about sacred space, and about how, everyone has that sacred mirror within that reflects, the universe and its intentions, and how they can be reached by owning that space and becoming free in your space. And it was really empowering, and I really enjoyed it. And afterwards, Annie Truesdell, I just mentioned, is a medium, as well as what's her name, Susan Hill Mellott. Yeah, Susan Hill Mellott. She is also another medium there at the church. And after they did the sermon and they sang some songs and all that good stuff, they had this session, kind of like that John Edwards guy, but for real. And first Susan got up, and she basically was acting as a medium between us, the congregation, and the beyond, as you may put it. And so, long story short, she was like, so is there anyone out there that's a grandmother named Margaret who goes by a different name, Mary or something? And I started to raise my hand because I had this overwhelming feeling that it was my grandmother, because I know she's been around. Anyway, I felt her. She's been in my dreams ever since she died, and she passed away a little over 2 years ago. And so I knew it was her. I felt it. And I almost raised my hand, and then this other woman raised her hand and was like, oh, it's me, it's my grandmother. And I'm like, I don't think so. But I didn't say anything. But I just listened to what she had to say. And she was saying that she knew that, I was going through a difficult time. I had gotten some shocking news, and I am doing things and feeling things that are changing my perspective on the world and changing the way that I interact with others. And that, it's been really difficult, but for me to just hang in there, and that I was actually on the right path, and not to stress or worry about it, and that she was with me. And what was interesting is, because as she's saying this other woman who spoke up was like, oh, it's my grandma. She looked really confused, it didn't pertain to her. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's because that would be my grandma. So that was really cool. And then after they sang some more songs, Annie got back up and acted as a medium again. And she looked at me and she was like, I have two gentlemen here that want to speak to you. What's your name? And I told her my name was Andrea, which is my birth name. And she was like, I'm getting an ace or an Asian. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my other name. And she was like, oh well, I think I have two of your grandfathers here, which two of my grandmothers passed away, which is my dad's father, who actually passed away before I was born, in 80, and my mother's father, my grandfather that I've spoken of before, is my mother's stepfather, and her biological father who I met when I was really small. Like, we used to go over there a lot when I was really small, but he passed away when I was about maybe 4 or 5. But she was like, yeah, and they're here, and your first grandfather, he's speaking in half English and half Spanish, but so I knew it was my dad's dad. But what he said in English was that I should look out for tans and browns and other earth tones, and continue doing what I'm doing to get back to where I was before. When I used to be a really like laid back and like down to earth person, but I've been kind of uptight lately, or at least over the past like year or so. Like I said, I've been feeling somewhat disconnected. But for me to just like chill out and get back to my roots, which was really nice. And my other grandfather was telling me that I should, like, he wanted to communicate with me through music, and that I should actually listen to the radio. And which is interesting. Like, I sometimes listen to the radio, but lately I've just been listening to CDs when I drive. So I made it a point to turn on the radio when I got in the car, and he was playing like, it was playing Sublime. Like, I caught the tail end of Sublime, What I Got, and then Kings of Leon, Use Somebody came on directly afterwards, which kind of brought tears to my eyes, because that song reminds me of a certain someone that I've been talking to quite a bit lately, and we've been getting kind of close again. It's an ex-partner of mine who we were together for a short time, and then we kind of lost touch, and we've been talking again, and I was kind of doubtful about it, like where I wanted to go with it, or if I wanted to do anything, because, I just got out of a relationship, wasn't really trying to get back into one, but apparently I should explore it a bit more and not be so doubtful, and try to be more, I guess, laid back about it. So yeah, and then they also told me to watch out for someone in a yellow hat or a yellow cap. And it would be someone that I would normally dismiss, but they have something very important to tell me. So that should be interesting. And then really quick, I hope I have time on this video, but Annie Truesdell also had this poem that I really liked. Actually, I probably will do it in another video, because I have no idea how long this has been running. So yeah, part 2 coming up in a minute.